All right, here we are, friends, on the fourth day of school, which happens to be the end of our first week. And this is what our schedule is. Notice no times yet. And we have early outs on Friday, so that's why our last academic time during the day is at 12:15. So we're starting today with writing. I also wanted to show you this. So this is what's up on the board. This is what they need to get together before the bell rings when we have a morning meeting. I don't do any kind of morning work. I want them to socialize before the day begins. So today in writing, I'm introducing my looks like, sounds like, feels like poster for quick writes. And a quick write is something that we build stamina for, just like Read to Self. So today we're starting on 5 minutes. So they get a 3-minute think time, they get a 4-minute share time, 2 minutes per partner. And then we're going to try to write silently for 5 minutes. And then we're going to do an editing circle. So that's going to be writing for today. We're also going to be reviewing some grammar concepts as well at the beginning as a little warm up. So the second thing we're going to be doing is expanding on what reading is, and we're going to be talking about schema today. So the students are doing Inside My Schema art project, and this is something that I put out on the outside of the classroom. It's really nice. We talk about how they're all experts in certain things, and they draw pictures of those things that they're experts on. And then I further go into schema using this book, The Girl Who Thought in Pictures, the story of Dr. Temple Grandin. So I give them these schema thermometers. So we've got our learning target on there. I will improve my schema before reading by. So they rate their schema at the beginning. And the schema that I ask them about is autism. And then we do some of these strategies. And then I read the book to them, and then they rate their schema again, and then have to give me some reasons why. And then, of course, we're continuing with our expanding Read to Self. We're at about a stamina of about 15 minutes, except for one student. He's my barometer student. And so what I've been working with him on is checking in with him. His stamina is about 5 minutes, so checking with him every 5 minutes. I've also started to give him some extra attention, especially when it comes to good fit books. So that was one of the things. His books were way too hard for him, which is very common for kids who don't read very well. They like to kind of disguise that. I've also given him a wiggle seat to sit on, and some color overlays. And so that's doing a little bit for him. I think he's going to need a little bit more, but I'm kind of waiting a little bit because I kind of don't like to go to that next step unless I really have to go to that next step. But the next step for him, and for any student who's having a hard time building their stamina, is to do what I call mini fidget breaks. So basically what I have them do is I have them read as long as they possibly can, and I tell them push through it a little bit. When it gets a little bit difficult, keep going. Then they take the 1-minute timer, which will be in their book bin. They flip it over and they get to fidget with something. So he'll choose which one of these he wants to fidget with, but he only gets to fidget with it for 1 minute. Once this 1-minute timer is done, he's got to go back to reading. And so that is one way to help him do that. So I'm also starting to meet with students. So this is my notebook that I'm building as I'm meeting with students. Once their stamina gets to about 10 or 15 minutes, then I can start doing that. And then this is something that I really like. I've got these from another teacher, and I'm sure she probably got them on Teachers Pay Teachers. It kind of looks like that type of thing. But these are little cards. And if I want to give a student an assignment or homework, what I do is I give them the card and I tell them to use it as a bookmark. And this is the question I'm going to ask when I come back. So it's a little bit of follow-up for comprehension. I've got one for fiction and one for nonfiction. This goes with what we learned about yesterday about making predictions. That was our focus yesterday. All right, so let's go back here to math. Math is super boring today. We have to take a beginning of year assessment. So that's what we're going to be doing, that, and it's a long one. And it takes a long time. So probably we'll be at it for an hour or more, I'm thinking. Probably from about 10 to 11:40. And then for social emotional learning today, let's go back here. We are going to be creating our, sorry about that, our bullying versus conflict poster, which is going to hang in our classroom. So we're going to talk about the difference between bullying and conflict. And I have a Teachers Pay Teachers on there. I've got a great product to help with that. But we're going to talk about the difference between bullying and conflict. We've got these cards that are right here that I'm going to pass out to the kids, and we're going to be putting them up to differentiate between those two things. And then they're going to be, this is my TPT product, but they're going to do this with a partner. There's a situation, and they have to decide if it's bullying and conflict, and how do you know, and what you should do about it. And then I've got some more situations here for them to act out. I've got this activity. It kind of got a lot of fillers. And then this is how I'm going to introduce bullying versus conflict. What if everybody did that? So this is the last in the series. We started with what if everybody thought that. Then yesterday we read what if everybody said that. And now we're doing what if everybody did that. And that will be our day today. And then since we have a half day, my team is going to be sitting down and looking at the assessments that we did this week, and to create our intervention groups. We start our intervention groups as early as we possibly can, which is the first week of school. And so that takes a while to sort of hash that out, who's going where. And making our first homework packet, which we do as a team, homework will start on Monday. So I hope you've enjoyed the first 4 days of school. I hope you found it helpful. If there's any questions you have about anything, it would be, you just leave them in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this different take on getting ready for back to school instead of the typical, let's make the classroom kind of a thing. TTFN, ta-ta for now.